President Marcos wants to discuss with Chinese President Xi Jinping how to keep tensions from worsening in the West Philippine Sea. The coast guards of both countries had figured in recent standoffs in the Ayungin Shoal, which is within the exclusive economic zone and continental shelf of the Philippines. Chinese Coast Guard vessels blocked the paths of and even fired water cannons on supply boats bound for the grounded BRP Sierra Madre, a military outpost. The president says the Philippines mainly wants to maintain peace in the disputed waters.
Again, we will get the view of the Chinese president on what we can do to bring down the temperature, to not escalate the situation in the West Philippine Sea.
China has been claiming sovereignty over most parts of the South China Sea, including some islands the Philippines also claims. The Philippines and the United States, meanwhile, have signed the 123 Agreement for Cooperation on Peaceful Uses of Nuclear Energy. The landmark deal will serve as the legal basis for the U.S. to export nuclear equipment and materials to the Philippines.
When Vice President Harris visited the Philippines last November, she announced that we were starting to develop this arrangement. So just 1 year later, we're signing the agreement. And that is the fastest that the United States has ever negotiated this kind of agreement.
The chief executive has been pursuing alternative energy sources to serve the growing power demand in the country. The Philippine leader says he also aims to drastically reduce carbon emissions as a response to the climate crisis. Meralco and America's ultra-safe nuclear corporation have agreed to conduct a pre-feasibility study on the possible deployment of micro-modular reactors. These are the size of an ordinary bus that may be deployed to remote towns and islands.
We see nuclear energy becoming a part of the Philippine energy mix by 2032. And we would be more than happy to pursue this path with the United States as one of our partners.
President Marcos says safeguards are enough to rule out risk in civilian use of nuclear energy. Rex Remitio, CNN Philippines.
3 people are confirmed dead in General Santos City following the magnitude 6.8 quake that hit parts of Mindanao. Let's get the latest from our correspondent, Chat Ansagay. Chat, good afternoon. What can you tell us?
Yes, good afternoon, Rika. 3 people are confirmed dead in General Santos City due to magnitude 6.8 quake that hit major parts in Mindanao Friday afternoon. A couple died when the concrete wall collapsed in their workplace. It was later learned that the wife is 2 months pregnant, according to her sister, Chari Calatao. Chari was devastated upon learning the news about her sister. She and her family is asking for assistance from her late sister's employer. The family is also planning to bring the remains of her sister in Jose Abad Santos in Davao Occidental, where they are residing. Another casualty was also reported. She's a nail technician in the SM City Jansan, residing in Barangay Apopong. According to the consolidated earthquake reports from Police Regional Office 12, the victim was hit by a concrete beam inside the nail studio in the mall. Today, all malls in the city are temporarily closed for thorough inspection, and police initially reported 16 buildings to have sustained minor damages and more than 300 injured. That's the latest from General Santos City. Chat Ansagay, ABS-CBN News.
Thank you so much, Chat, reporting live. 6 people are confirmed dead, while 1 other fatality is being verified. 3 fatalities are recorded in General Santos City. 2 of them, a husband and his pregnant wife, were crushed by a wall. In Davao Occidental, a 78-year-old man reportedly died after being hit by a rock. Search and rescue operations continue for 2 people still missing. The Office of Civil Defense said power supply has been restored and most roads are now passable. It also reminds the public not to believe reports of tsunami threats.
So far po, meron nga po tayong mga nasugatan na mga estudyante at saka yung mga mall goers na especially dito po sa General Santos City. Maabot po talaga na mahigit kumulang po na nasa 150 students na po yung na-record natin na nag-report na po ng mga hyperventilation po na mga cases. Pero nakauwi naman po sila.
Okay.
Nang dahil lang po ito sa pagpapanik po nila Nagpaanik po kasi yung mga estudyante, gawa nang nandun sila sa loob ng kanilang mga paralan at nagkaroon nga po ng lindol. Paalala lang po sa lahat, lalong-lalo na po dito sa Jensen area po natin at sa Sarangani province. Huwag po tayong maniniwala dun sa lumabas kanina na mga tsunami scare. At nagpalabas na po din ng alerto ang PBOX na wala po tayong any tsunami threat nang dahil po sa nangyaring earthquake.
Despite no tsunami threats, a mayor in Davao Occidental Town urged residents living in coastal areas to voluntarily evacuate to ensure their safety.
Aside sa landslide, rockslide, yung tsunami din po yung mas kinakatakutan po namin yung mga naninirahan po dito sa aming munisipyo po. Pinag-ingat namin yung mga naninirahan sa tabing dagat at meron tayong advisory sa kanila na kapag naramdaman nilang medyo sobrang lakas na ng lindol ay magvo-voluntary evacuate na lang sa medyo elevated na lugar po. Kasi kapag hinintay pa natin yung tsunami warning, baka medyo huli na po kasi mabilis daw po yata yung pagdating ng tsunami pag nagkataon po.
The Office of Civil Defense raises the red alert in Davao region in the wake of the powerful tremor. Our correspondent Hernel Tokmo joins us on the line with the details. Hernel.
Rika, good afternoon. The magnitude 6.8 earthquake that hit Sarangani municipality yesterday afternoon caused only minor damages to some structures in Davao Occidental and Davao City. Actually, classes were suspended yesterday, early yesterday, because the local government was expecting inclement weather due to low pressure area, but a strong earthquake hit unexpectedly the southern portion of the Mindanao. So far, 59 aftershocks were recorded by the Office of Civil Defense 11 as of 9 a.m. today, in which 2 aftershocks were felt. The Davao Regional Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, through the OCD-11, has raised the alert status of its Emergency Operations Center to red alert following the magnitude 6.8 earthquake. RDRMC-11 issued Memorandum Number 125 Series of 2023 yesterday, stating that the raising of the red alert status of its EOC is to intensify close monitoring of Davao region and to ensure immediate mobilization of resources from the regional level, particularly those affected by the recent earthquake. All local DRM offices and RDRMC member agencies have been directed to monitor closely their areas of responsibility and coordinate with the RDRMC 11 EOC for immediate response actions when necessary. Based on the 11 situational report of the RDRMC 11 EOC, minor damages to infrastructures have been reported in Davao City and the municipalities of Jose Abad Santos and Sarangani in Davao Occidental. Among the damaged structures reported in Davao Occidental were Maghanoy Elementary School in Sarangani Town and minor cracks in some of the schools in Jose Abad Santos Municipality. In Davao City, a crane collapsed in an ongoing construction building and minor cracks in Lingap Toril Building, also in an overpass in Matina Crossing, Langob Elementary and High School, Barangay Hall in Tagluno, and a bridge in Barangay Ilang. Also, 174 individuals in Davao City and 4 families in Jose Abad Santos have been displaced. Meanwhile, power interruptions were noted in the province of Davao Occidental following the quake, but has since already been restored. The PDRMO of Davao Occidental is set to conduct a rapid damage assessment and needs analysis today. The RDRMC 11 has also convened the response cluster member agencies, to discuss possible actions and interventions to be undertaken. Meanwhile, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, EOC, has also raised its alert status to blue alert, also in relation to this incident. Reporting from Davao City, Hernel Tokmo, ABS-CBN News.
Thank you so much, Hernel Tokmo, reporting live. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. not seeing the need to cut short his U.S. trip despite yesterday's tremor. Marcos is still in Washington for the APEC Leaders Summit. Speaking to the media there, he said local disaster response agencies already know what to do.
I'm happy to be able to say that the government agencies do not need directives from me anymore. They know what to do. So far, it looks like, despite the strength of the earthquake, mukha namang hindi masyadong naging malaki ang damage. Well, if there's something that needs to be done that cannot be done by anybody but myself, I will go home. But as I said, alam na nilang gagawin eh.
Vice President Sara Duterte meanwhile appealed to the public to remain calm and follow safety protocols.
Sa mga kalamidad na katulad nito, lumalabas po ang kahalagahan ng ating mga earthquake drills at iba pang pagsasanay para sa kandaan. Ako man ay nakaranas din ng malakas na lindol noong ako ay alkalde ng Davao at meron itong dala na trauma. Kinakailangan natin maging kalmado at unahin ang pag-check ng ating mga bahay at gusali para paghanda sa mga aftershocks. Manatili po tayong kalmado, matatag at nagkakaisa.
The Social Welfare Department, for its part, vowed to ramp up efforts to deliver aid to residents affected by the tremor. More details on that story from our correspondent Katrina Domingo joins us on the line. Kat, what's the latest, please?
Hi, Rika. The Department of Social Welfare and Development said that it has earmarked an initial 14.2 million pesos for victims of the 6.8 magnitude quake that recently hit several regions in Mindanao. The 4.2 million will be disbursed in the regions of northern Mindanao, Davao, and Sorsogon in the form of food and non-food items. That's according to the DSWD Assistant Secretary Romel Lopez, who underscored that the agency still has a total of 1.4 billion pesos remaining in its calamity fund. DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian has already ordered the agency's regional offices to track down the families of those killed in the quake so that the agency can extend several cash assistances and other forms of help for those who need it. Lopez says the DSWD is also monitoring some 320 people who were taken to hospitals due to different injuries and is also looking to give up to 10,000 pesos for every family whose houses were damaged by the temblor. Now, Lopez tells us, Rika, that the DSWD has also distributed 140,000 food packs and other non-food items in affected areas and is also expected to ask the Department of Budget and Management for additional funds should it need more resources to aid victims of this quake. Rika?
Kat, just a few questions. Do you have any idea if there are any evacuees at the moment?
No word yet on that front, Rika. Lopez tells us that they have been having issues in terms of communication with their regional counterparts as communication lines have been down since yesterday. Some parts still have yet to regain their signal as well as their electricity so that the agency can fully coordinate with its regional offices. Rika?
All right, those who have been in the hospital, have all of them been discharged now?
Pardon the question, Rika?
All those taken to the hospitals, are they discharged now?
No, Rika. So far, of the 320 people, only about 34 patients have been discharged. The rest are still recuperating in different hospitals in Mindanao.
But are there any major injuries?
Rika, a clear-cut breakdown has yet to be provided by the DSWD given the concerns when it comes to communications. But what we do know is that most of these patients only incurred minor injuries. We have yet to find out from our regional correspondents as to the status of those patients who incurred major injuries or may perhaps had an amputated leg and so forth. Because so far the DSWD has yet to collect data from the three regions that were affected by this quake, particularly northern Mindanao, Davao, and Sorsogon. Rika?
All right, thank you so much, Katrina Domingo, reporting live. More groups will be joining the three-day transport strike, which starts on Monday. The Bagong Bayan Jeepney Operators and Drivers Association said they will join Piston in its protest against the looming jeepney phase-out. Another group, Manibela, has said they might conduct a separate strike after the one scheduled for Monday. These transport groups are calling for an end to government's PUV modernization program, which they claim would affect their livelihoods.
Kung kami ay papasok sa consolidation, kung kami ay papasok sa programa, malamang ito na yung katapusan ng aming hanap buhay. Kaya inisip po namin na mas ilaban o ipagtanggol yung aming kabuhayan.
The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries is reportedly planning to discuss the necessity of additional oil supply cuts. Citing unnamed OPEC sources, Reuters says the organization may discuss deeper cuts during its meeting scheduled for November 26. Members of OPEC Plus, including Saudi Arabia, Russia, have already committed to slashing their combined oil production by 5.16 million barrels per day. This reduction accounts for roughly 5% of the daily global demand. These cuts began late last year with the aim of stabilizing the market, prompting oil prices to rise. Cheaper pump prices expected next week. If estimates hold up, this would mark the fourth consecutive week of fuel price decreases. Next week, a liter of gasoline may see a cut of up to 90 centavos per liter, while diesel and kerosene prices could decrease by at least 50 centavos.